The NFC might stink. Who's good? You watch football for the last 4 days. The NFC West, the NFC West might stink. Brady's 45. He lost another offensive lineman today. The Eagles gave up 35 points to Detroit. Your team, I think, stinks. Green Bay's passing game, they could barely move the ball. And so we're getting Kirk Cousins in the Super Bowl? Well, like, how is this going to play out?
Well, you're reading into the fact that the Cowboys are in sole position of last place and the Seahawks are solely atop the NFC West. You think that's an issue now?
The 0-0 Seahawks are in first place.
They're it. This is it. They're running through the streets like Appalachian State fans. Like, this is really nuts. Yeah, well, we never thought anyone... Look, I'm not gonna overreact to the Packers. I'm just not gonna do it because then they lose like 36-3 or something terrible, 37-3 to the Saints, and then Rodgers went on to throw 2 interceptions the rest of the year. Right. So I'm not gonna go too crazy. A lot of teams have offensive line issues, mine included. Tampa Bay seems to have solved theirs. I don't know how, just within an hour. And Green Bay did too, and you could tell like Rodgers was out of sync with his offensive line. But I think they're going to be fine. But you're right. If there was a line on AFC versus NFC to win the Super Bowl, I would take it at -250.
Really? So you would say almost the AFC is like a -6 favorite. Yeah, I was looking. FanDuel had kept the Super Bowl odds up during the game, which I was confused by. But Tampa, they had +750 to win the Super Bowl. Green Bay 13-1. The Rams 14-1. So the Rams would be the third NFC team. The Eagles 16-1. They gave up 35 points to Detroit. San Francisco 22-1. I have no idea who their quarterback's going to be 2 weeks from now. Minnesota 24-1. Your team is 26-1, and the Saints were 32-1. I'm with you. The one team that I'm not ready to panic with yet are the Packers. Like Watson drops that bomb at the start of the game. Yeah. Is the game different if that happens? Minnesota played really well. They didn't really have the dumb Kirk Cousins turnover that they get sometimes. And Green Bay was kind of lingering in that game, even though they didn't have it. And it just seemed to me like some sloppiness and some early season stuff with Rodgers and the receivers. But that would be the team I picked.
Wasn't that a must win for the Vikings? Wasn't that a kitchen sink game for the Vikings? Like if they lose that, it's like, oh, same old shit. We can't beat this team. They're going to be on top of the division. They're going to win it by 3 games. So they were good. I mean, obviously Jefferson's going to be a problem. He was wide open on plays. I'll never understand for the life of me how he got so wide open on some of them against the defense, like getting behind these linebackers, these blue chippers. But 23-7, it's all right. It's not too impressive. I'm not giving up on the Packers just yet.
Yeah, I wonder if Jefferson is just going to go down as the best NFC player of this season. I'm not saying he's like as good as Rodgers, anything like that, but just impactful week to week. Is he just going to be the dominant guy? Because he was the guy out of everybody today that jumped off the TVs. Didn't seem like they could cover him. I felt like if the Vikings didn't have the lead like they did, there was like a 300-yard game potentially in play for him. Didn't you feel that way?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, exactly. They did try to run the clock out towards the end. Yeah, I don't want to take too much away from them. But again, I'm not, and I had them as a playoff team. I had the Packers winning the division, but we saw what happened to the Saints. I'm not going to count Rodgers out. And I do think, obviously Mahomes had an immediately, made the naysayers look stupid with his number 10 Pacheco against Tyreek Hill. Now we're saying which number 10 is better. Like he's made his receivers adjust. I think the same thing's going to happen with Rodgers within the next couple of weeks.
Well, the Bucs fans are listening going, wait a second. We just had a dominant Sunday night game. Why aren't we in the mix? Their defense.
No Bucs fans. We have Bucs fans listening?
Maybe. There might be a couple out there. Their defense was really good tonight. I just don't know. Now we can kind of ease into your team a tiny bit.
Great.
I don't know if it was your defense your offense being incompetent, Tampa's defense being good, or both. What was your take watching?
It sucked. And, I did the Spotify Live. Thank you for hooking that up. Now it's me and the degenerate trifecta doing Spotify Live in the fourth quarter of every Cowboy game. And I'm like, okay, now people can taunt us, but it'll be close and it'll be a fun game. And I actually did think the Cowboys are going to win. I don't know the hour we were on. I don't know if we had the first down. By the way, our quarterback's out. He has a broken thumb. He's getting surgery on his thumb. So now we're looking at Cooper Rush.
That's the news?
That's it. Yeah, he came to the sideline. He said it was broken. That's what I'm saying.
We buried the lead. I didn't realize he broke his thumb.
I told you, like, yours got a broken back. Mine's the thumb, and when he took it out of his ass, he saw that it was broken. Like, I don't know what to do now. We didn't even really carry a second quarterback until Cooper Rush was a rush emergency backup, and it was awful. They won 19-3. I would say, like, I don't know if you would have told me this morning that the Buccaneers were going to score one touchdown, I would have like, how much? Let me put my house on it. I'll take everything on the Cowboys. I love them this game. And they shit the bed. And, I can't even blame McCarthy. I want to blame McCarthy. That's all I want to do. I want to get to that point. It doesn't look like I'm going to get there.
Yeah, because a couple of times your defense stopped them on situations where it looked like the game was about to get blown open in the second quarter, where it seemed like the Bucs were going to end the quarter with like 20 plus points, and they didn't. Here's what I didn't realize I was going to miss so much, and it got me forlorn to when McCarthy gets fired, which could be 3 weeks from now, is him staring at the Jumbotron, trying to figure out what the penalty was with that look on his face, which I think will be, we had the clapper for Jason Garrett. I don't know what the nickname is for that. Right. The Jumbotron watcher. Like, I don't even know what. Yeah,
the ogler, the starer. Yeah, I don't know what he would be.
The mouth breather.
Oh, Jesus.
It's so bad. I didn't like CD Lamb in any of our fantasy leagues. We're in 2 of them together because I was really worried about him being the only weapon versus the situation he was in last year, which was pretty ideal. And the receivers you were trotting out, it reminded me a little bit of the Rams game, except he's a lesser Cooper Kupp, where he's throwing at people. And Collinsworth got mad at one point that out pass that Dak threw to number 17. I don't even know who that guy's name is. And Collinsworth, he could barely talk. I don't know. And he was like, "You've got to complete that pass. And I don't know if he was mad at Dak or the receiver, but it was really awful. You just look super sloppy.
My God, first of all, I've taken up smoking, and since I switched from Parliaments to Marlboro Lights, it's just a whole different world. I sound like Curly on in City Slickers right now. So let's just get the herd back to the ranch, and boy, that Dalton Schultz is something else.
Al, oh no, you're not Al. I'm on 10 pounds of Mucinex. What's your name? Who are you?
I'm a chain smoker now, so get used to it. What the hell happened there?